There's something extraordinary about you. You're not like the rest, and deep down you've always known that. You've never fit into the mold they tried to force you into. Whether they acknowledged it or not, you've always stood out. Your essence is from another world. You're cut from a divine cloth, one woven with light, depth, and purpose. They couldn't label you properly, so instead, they tried to diminish you. When you walk into a room, you don't even have to say a word. Your energy announces itself. It's radiant, powerful, and unsettling to those who've chosen to stay in darkness. They can't figure out why they feel uneasy around you. It's not you. It's your light exposing what they've tried to keep hidden within themselves. You're a mirror reflecting both potential and avoidance, and that irritates those still stuck in their old ways. Many of the people who were closest to you, family, childhood friends, even some who once claimed to love you, can't recognize you anymore. And it's not because you've become someone else, but because you finally become who you were always meant to be. While they remained the same, you grew mentally, emotionally, energetically. They called you the black sheep, but you were the golden soul all along. You weren't born to blend in, you were born to shine. And while they mocked your silence, your solitude, your steady discipline, they didn't realize you were building something sacred. Not outwardly, but inwardly. You were doing the real work, healing, evolving, elevating. Now that your transformation is undeniable, they feel threatened. But instead of owning their neglect of personal growth, they try to drag your name through the mud. They create stories, gather in whispers, twist facts, anything to make themselves feel like they're still in control of your image. But they lost that privilege the moment you rose into your truth. You were never the problem. You simply outgrew their dysfunction. You evolved beyond the need for validation from broken people. That made you the target of their projections. They're uncomfortable with your growth because it shines a light on their stagnancy. Your glow reminds them that they too had a choice, but they didn't take it. They can no longer understand you because they never understood what you were becoming. Your discipline confused them. Your peace irritated them. Your refusal to engage in their chaos offended them. But you didn't need their permission to rise. You outgrew their games, you stopped playing and started building. You didn't just heal, you transformed. They've tried to pull you back to who you used to be. They hold on to the past like it's their lifeline, pointing to old mistakes, old decisions, old versions of you. But none of that defines you now. They remember a chapter. You've written an entirely new book. That's why they're angry. It's not that you changed, it's that you changed without their approval. Some people don't want to see you grow because it reminds them that they could have grown too, but they didn't. While they spent years numbing, mocking, and chasing distractions, you were in the shadows doing the hard work, the soul work, the deep work. Now your presence feels like a rebuke to their inaction. You became the person they told you you'd never be, the one they laughed at, the one they gossiped about. And now they're watching you glow with the kind of peace and clarity that money can't buy. You didn't get here by luck. You got here by surrendering to your higher self, shedding what no longer served, and allowing the universe to rebuild you from the inside out. They hate that you're unbothered. They hate that your peace can't be disrupted. They throw darts made of jealousy, envy, and deceit, but none of them pierce your spirit. Because your foundation isn't shallow. It's anchored in something sacred, something untouchable. You tried to bring them along. You gave grace, you offered patience. You explained yourself more than you should have. And still, they treated your kindness like weakness. But you've learned. You owe no one an explanation for your healing. You don't have to shrink to make others comfortable anymore. They underestimated your silence. They thought your distance was weakness, but now they realize it was wisdom. You weren't avoiding confrontation. You were avoiding corruption. You were protecting your peace, guarding your evolution, and choosing your future over their familiar dysfunction. People can't perceive what's outside of their frequency. That's why they can't see the truth about you. You're operating on a level their mindset hasn't yet reached. And that's okay. You didn't evolve for their validation. You evolved for your liberation. You're no longer available for the conversations, comparisons, or energy-draining nonsense that once kept you stuck. The more they try to keep you in the past, the further you rise. They use old stories to define you, but you've written a new narrative. You're no longer fighting for a seat at their table. You've built your own. You've paved your own path. And your glow, it's not just beauty, it's battle-tested resilience. Their inability to celebrate you is not your burden to carry. You were never meant to be small enough for their comfort zones. You were never meant to be dimmed. If they choose to remain blind to your light, that's their limitation, not your problem. You didn't evolve to prove them wrong, you evolved to live fully, freely, and fearlessly. Your glow is divine. It's a result of every tear, every silent prayer, every moment you chose to keep going when quitting would have been easier. It's not about clothes, money, or image. It's about alignment, and your alignment is screaming louder than any words ever could. So when they gossip, let them. When they assume, let them. When they lie, let them. None of it can touch what's been rooted in truth. You're no longer in that space. You're no longer that person. They don't recognize the new you because they're still clinging to the old version. And when they go through their storms, don't rescue them. Not out of bitterness, but out of clarity. You're not their savior. You're not their fixer. You're an example, a reflection of what's possible when someone chooses growth. Let them learn. Let them face their own mirror. And you keep rising. And now repeat this prayer with me. Dear God, thank you for revealing the truth about who I am. In a world full of confusion and distraction, I am grateful for the clarity that you've placed within my soul. You've helped me understand that I am not here to blend in. I am here to shine. I thank you for guiding me through the shadows of my past and into the light of self-awareness. Where others tried to define me by my mistakes, you reminded me of my potential. Where others abandoned me, you fortified me. Let every attack formed against my spirit dissolve. I walk forward untouched, undeterred, and unbothered. Let my energy remain sacred, protected from low frequencies and manipulative intentions. Surround me with strength, not just to survive, but to thrive. I release the desire to be understood by those committed to misunderstanding me. Let my peace speak for itself. Let my silence be louder than their noise. I choose to stay grounded in truth and detached from drama. Lord, heal every part of me that once sought validation. Break every soul tie that tried to anchor me to falsehood. Strengthen my inner knowing. Build my confidence from within. Let my light be both shield and sword. Wherever there's residue from old wounds, cleanse it. Wherever there's self-doubt, replace it with divine certainty. Let no weapon formed in thought, speech, or action prosper against my destiny. Continue to lead me to places that match my vibration. Send me people who honor my journey, not those who resent my growth. Let my circle reflect the peace I've cultivated within. I choose growth over comfort. I choose authenticity over popularity. I choose purpose over performance, and I trust that I am always being guided, protected, and elevated, whether others see it or not. Let my energy remain a force for good. Let my presence be a blessing, even to those who cannot yet understand me. And most importantly, keep me centered in truth, in grace, and in unshakable inner power.